just the fact that so many things are taken away from you because like I didn't even make the decisions, the political decisions.
Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of Korea Unfiltered. As always, another exciting guest is in the studio. She a little nervous though. She's a little nervous, but we'll give her grace. It's her first time being on camera, so we're giving her grace, but hopefully by the end of this episode, she'll be like, I'm ready to be on camera again. That's what I'm hoping for. But introducing today's guest, Yulia! Woo! Welcome, Yulia.
Thank you for having me.
How do you feel?
I do feel a little nervous.
Yeah.
I didn't expect that, but
You didn't expect to be nervous?
honestly, no. I don't know, because well, let me introduce myself first.
Oh, sorry. Would you like to introduce yourself? Would you
Yeah.
like to introduce yourself?
My name is Yulia, and I'm 24, and
Oh, she's a baby. Oh my god.
in international age.
Yeah.
Soon to be 25 though. Yeah, I'm from Russia, which is interesting for everyone to hear, I guess.
Because you don't look,
Yeah,
physically
exactly.
Russian.
Yeah.
Mhm. Are you? What's your mix? I'm guessing you are mixed. I know that you're mixed.
Yeah.
I don't want people to be like, how do you know she's mixed? I know she's mixed. What are you mixed with?
So I'm half Korean, half Tajik, which not a lot of people know
Tajik.
about this place. Yeah,
Where is
Tajikistan.
Tajik? Tajikistan.
Yeah, it's a country in Central Asia.
Yeah.
It's like related to Iran,
Okay.
kind of. Like they speak the same language
As
as well.
Iran?
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
Farsi.
Okay.
And yeah, they have like their own culture, like distinct but also related to them as
Mhm.
well. Yeah.
And how did your family end up going to Russia?
Well, for my Korean side, they the diaspora. It's like I'm third generation diaspora.
Okay.
So my we call ourselves Koryo saram.
Koryo?
Koryo.
Ah, Koryo. Oh, I was like,
my
Koryo.
pronunciation. Koryo saram.
I didn't expect Korean. Koryo saram. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, but here they call us Koryoin.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it's like specifically for diaspora Koreans in post-Soviet countries.
Mhm.
Yeah, they moved to Russia back when I think the occupation started here by Japan.
With Japan. Okay.
Yeah.
That's a long time
Some
ago.
Yeah,
Yeah.
probably some of them probably even earlier than that because
Okay,
of the
interesting.
borders and
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
trade and stuff. But then I guess it's a long history lesson, so I'm gonna make it short. Then we
She's like,
ended
Google
up,
it.
yeah, exactly.
guys. Yeah.
Yeah, we ended up in Central Asia.
Mhm.
So I was born in a country that I have no relation to ethnically, in
Okay.
Uzbekistan, another Central
You've
Asian
been
country.
around.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then when I was a kid, when I was 8, I moved to Russia because for a lot of people in Central Asia, it's pretty common to move to Russia as like working immigrants because it's, Central Asia is not really economically that good. It doesn't have a strong standing. So
Yeah.
we moved to Russia as a lot of my relatives did. Some of them moved to Korea actually. So I have relatives here.
Mm-hmm. And these are
So-
your Korean relatives moving back to Korea, or is it just like the mix of your family?
It's Korean relatives. I actually only know my Korean side of the family.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh wow, okay. Interesting.
So yeah, they're here.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's about it. Yeah,
That's
my
her
mix.
history lesson, guys,
Yeah.
in her mixture.
Yeah.
But you would consider yourself half Tajik,
Yeah.
Tajikistani?
Yeah.
Is that the right Tajikistani?
Honestly, I don't know.
Or is it Tajikistan?
Tajik, I guess.
Tajik?
That's how
Okay.
they say it, but I'm not sure if in English maybe it's more correct to say Tajikistani.
Let's do what they do. Tajik.
Yeah.
Follow the people.
Yeah.
So you're half Tajik, half Korean.
Yeah.
Okay, and when did you end up moving to Korea?
This year, actually.
Huh?
Yeah.
You?
I am kind of this year in February.
Oh wow,
That's
you're
when I
so
moved.
new.
Yeah, I came here for the first time last year, and
Yeah.
I stayed here for 3 months. And initially, I was planning to stay for like a month, but I
Okay.
ended up staying longer.
That happens to everybody.
Yeah,
They come here for 2 weeks, they're like, 1 month won't hurt.
yeah.
Now you're 3 months in.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I liked it here a lot, and I decided that I should probably come back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What made you come the first time? Did you just want to explore your culture, or
Yeah.
you wanted to explore your Korean
Yeah,
side?
exactly.
Uh-huh.
I got my visa actually in 2018. I was 18 back then, so I was planning to come back then.
Yeah.
But because of like personal issues, I couldn't. And then I was like, okay, I need to come eventually. But I wasn't like, I was postponing it until like the very last moment. And then in 2023, my visa was like, it was up. It was due to like expire.
Yeah.
So I was like, so this is my last chance. I need to go. I mean, I can always get a visa again. But I was like, okay, I need to do it. I paid money for it, you know?
Girl.
So I was like, I need to go.
Yeah.
So I came here, and I actually extended my visa here last year. And yeah, that's how I decided to come again.
How did your like Korean side of the family, or just your, because you said you're only in touch with your Korean side, right?
Yeah.
How did your family feel about you coming to Korea?
Some of my family were encouraging. Some of them were, they weren't like against it, but they were like, are you sure? Like, what are you gonna do? And yeah.
Oh no.
But it wasn't enough to discourage me completely.
Or stop you, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so you ended up coming to Korea. The first 3 months you were here, like the first time you came for those 3 months, what were your experiences?
I actually, it was pretty lonely. This is what I was gonna say too. Like one of your questions.
Let me get to that question.
In the notes.
What difficulties have you faced while living in Korea?
It's pretty lonely. Yeah, pretty lonely. This is something I feel like people don't expect at first.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah, that you come here and you don't have friends unless you come with someone, and you're like, so what do I do? Who do I hang out with?
Girl, speak.
When I came here last year, I came here to my family, so I stayed with them, but they all have their own,
own lives.
families.
Yeah.
So I was like, who do I hang out with? I want to explore, I want to go to Seoul. I had been planning to go to Jeju-do last year, or like Busan at least.
Yeah.
And I ended up not going anywhere because, well, first of all, I don't have anyone to go with, and also just, how do I even explain it? Because of like some political issues, I couldn't really use my cards here, my bank cards. So I have to.
Because you're from Russia.
Yeah. So it doesn't work anywhere outside of Russia now. So I couldn't book.
Crazy.
It is. I couldn't book hotels. I couldn't, buy flight tickets unless I was doing it with like a Russian application, with my Russian card and stuff.
Yeah.
It's like, it's something that I knew before I was coming here, but it's something that you have to experience to know how hard it is.
Yeah, yeah.
So, yeah. And I was living outside of Seoul, in Gyeonggi-do. So every time I came to Seoul, I was like, so, okay, I'm going to come for a few days, but I need to come and look for an accommodation right away. And I was like walking around in Seoul and like asking, like, do you guys have a place? Do you guys have like a room? It was quite hard. But still, I made it. I came to Seoul a few times for like 5 or 6 days. And yeah, it was nice. Just, alone. That's the hardest thing.
The loneliness of it.
Yeah.
Has that gotten better in the last year?
Yeah, much better. I'm very glad for it. When I came here this year, I actually started off with taking language classes at language school, university language school, and that helped me find some acquaintances, some friends. And another thing about that is, like, for a lot of people who are planning to do this, be prepared that you're gonna meet people from like other countries and then they're gonna leave. So like, it's so painful to get close to someone, and like literally 2 or 3 months later, I have a friend that I made here and she left after 3 months, and now like we still talk not every day, but quite often and like quite at length, but
it's not the same.
Yeah.
That's like something a lot of people don't think about, is when you make friends with other foreigners here and you're not from the same country, there's always that chance they're going to leave.
Yeah.
They're not going to stay here forever because they're not from Korea. Yeah. But the good thing is now you have a friend from a different country. So if you ever visit that country, they're there for you.
That's true.
That's like the good side. But the loneliness part, I completely agree with that part. What are some other difficulties you think you faced during that time? The 3 months or the year that you've been... It hasn't been a year, but this year in Korea.
The last year when I came here, during those 3 months, I decided to experience like part-time jobs here, and I tried working at factories, which is
Factories.
yeah.
That sounds hard.
It is hard. It is something that a lot of like people who come here as working immigrants do.
Yeah.
It's kind of an easy way to make money, I guess. And they, because they need labor, they just end up taking anyone, even sometimes illegally. So for everyone, for anyone who considers that, I have to warn you, it's really hard. It's not for everyone. I personally experienced that. I worked for maybe like 15 or 20 days, not like in a row, but in total. And it was something that I experienced, and I was like, I will never ever do this again.
What type of factory were you working at?
One day I spent working at a factory that was like packing fruits into boxes and stuff, and the second one was like a skincare factory, I guess. They were also doing like packaging. Someone was doing the mixture stuff and all that.
Yeah.
But I was at like packaging stations, and not for everyone.
That's back-breaking work for sure.
It is. Yeah, it is.
But factory work is also very popular with foreigners here.
Yeah.
Especially, I don't think I've ever heard of girl working in a factory. I always see guys doing it.
Really?
Yeah. Well, online, because
yeah.
like online, they'll be like looking for men to work in a factory. I've never seen girls, so that's so interesting.
There are actually a lot of women doing that, and a lot of among Koreans, among locals, there are a lot of elderly women doing that, which shocked me.
Oh wow.
Because I didn't expect them to go for something like this, but I've heard that for elderly it's pretty hard here, so I kind of understand why.
Which is really sad, because if it's hard for you, who's only 24, I can only imagine an older woman how hard it would be for her.
Exactly. But
when you need money, gotta do
Yeah.
what you gotta do. Oh wow, okay. So you ended up working in a factory. So you wouldn't recommend it?
No, absolutely not.
Ooh, I couldn't do it. I respect people who do it, but it looks difficult.
Exactly.
It looks very, very difficult. So you tried that for 15 to 20 days, and then what made you leave? Was it just because it was difficult?
Yeah, it was difficult, and the language barrier also added to the fact that, you know, there are so many things that I don't understand, and that I feel like I'm incapable when I'm there, you know.
Yeah.
I'm doing something and I feel like I'm doing my best, but they're like, quick, hurry.
Oh, the pali pali.
Yeah, exactly.
The pali pali culture.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you ended up leaving it, and then where did you end up working next? Or what did you do next?
After that, I didn't really work. I actually specifically entered those kind of part-time jobs to experience that, because like some of my family do that here.
Okay, yeah.
And I was like, I wonder how it is, because they do earn money, and it's good money, but it's not worth it.
Yeah, because that is back-breaking work.
Yeah.
Unless you're strong and you can do it.
Yeah.
Go for it.
I feel like not a lot of people are capable of that, honestly.
Listen, I'm just a girl.
Yeah.
I can't do it. I am just a girl.
Exactly.
It's a lot.
Me too.
Yulia's just a girl too. I don't know who made that meme up, but it's so funny.
Yeah.
I'm just a girl. But so you ended up completely leaving it, and then you didn't work for a while. How was life at that time? Like, how were you?
I got to experience some of Korea, and I loved it, even though I was alone. Sometimes when you end up, you know, going out there and you're alone, like exploring the city, at first it feels lonely, but then you end up appreciating, you know, going around like cafes and all the neighborhoods, and it's actually not that bad.
I feel like a lot of people, no, not a lot of people. I think there's this narrative that Korea, like, you don't eat by yourself, you don't go places by yourself.
Oh, exactly.
But I think that culture has changed a lot in the last few years. A lot of people do solo dates by themselves.
Yeah.
Like you said, like solo travel by yourself. Was it awkward at first?
At first, yeah. Because especially in the area where my relatives live, because it's like Gyeonggi-do, it's not the city.
Yeah.
There were like most of the places that were around there, especially the food that I wanted to try, it was like I come there and they're like, oh, we don't accept like a lone person. You have to be like at least
2인분?
Yeah, 2인분.
Okay.
And it was so awkward. I was like, oh, really? Okay, thank you, bye.
Yeah.
So awkward.
I take that statement back, actually. It's still a little hard because even barbecue places, you can't go by yourself. There will be like, it has to be, well, you can go by yourself, but you'd have to eat 2 portions.
Yeah.
Because they don't serve just 1 portion. I recently had a friend who was visiting Korea, and he really wanted to go to a Korean barbecue place. And he ended up going to the door, and they're like, oh, sorry, we don't take 1 person. It has to be 2 people. And he was like, why? And he was like, because you have to order 2 servings. And he ended up eating 2 servings. He's a big guy. He could finish it easy. But if you're like I'm just a girl, okay? I can't eat 2 servings. Yeah. So that part sucks for sure. But there are places that you can find that you can do solo dates by yourself for sure. True. Are you comfortable like being like traveling by yourself now? Are you still working on it?
I'm still working on it, I would say. I'm not like 100% comfortable, but I'm getting there.
Yeah.
Okay. About eating, I would also say another thing is if you end up ordering 2 servings and you want to get takeout for your leftovers, it's not very common in Korea to ask for them to wrap it for you.
Yeah, because I'm not going to lie. If I had 2 servings of Korean barbecue and I left some, I want to take it out.
Yeah, exactly.
But they're gonna
good
be
money.
Like, yeah, some good meat. But they will be like, oh, we don't do takeout.
Yeah. Or they're gonna look at you like, girl, what are you talking about?
Who does Korean barbecue takeout? That's how they're gonna look at you. That's when you have to bring your own Tupperware. Just put it in your own
like some grandma
taking this home. I would definitely take it home. Yeah. But that's a great point actually. Takeout is not that common when you're already eating that food there. Exactly. That's very true. There's a question that I wanted to ask you, but if you're not comfortable answering this, you don't have to answer. Okay. You said when you first came, you couldn't use like your Russian cards, and I'm guessing it's because like the whole war was going on, right? And they had restricted a lot of things from Russia.
Yeah.
How did it affect you, especially as someone who's not Russian, because you're Tajik and Korean?
Yeah.
Like how was it back then?
Well, the sanctions themselves are really it's really hard to take. Even though it's a small thing, like at the end of the day, I always think like, well, it's not something that I cannot live without. Like, we don't have like Starbucks, we don't have McDonald's anymore, but it's like not essential. So like it's fine. But just the fact that so many things are taken away from you because like I didn't even make the decisions, the political decisions. So why are the citizens supposed to like struggle? And for me, the card's not working is worse than anything else. Like the McDonald's not being there anymore is not as crucial as the card's not working. It's really,
because girl, that's your money that you can't use.
Exactly.
I didn't know about this card thing, by the way. I was shocked.
Yeah, a lot of
I
people
knew about the companies leaving, which, as you said, that's not really essential. But for you to travel, as a citizen who has nothing to do with what the politics of your country has. That's crazy for you to come here and not be able to use your card.
I was not prepared for that.
How did you end up getting out of that? Did you end up just working in Korea and getting Korean money, or?
I came with dollars, which I exchanged in Russia, and then I just had to pay for everything in cash. Yeah.
Which is not fun.
Yeah, it's not fun.
Gonna have a whole bunch of coins in your purse.
Exactly.
That is not fun. Have you like mentally gotten over that? Like because I feel like it's a little. This might be me putting words in your mouth, so correct me if I'm wrong. I feel like it's a little traumatic to go through something like that, or they're like, "Oh, sorry, we don't take Russian cards," or I don't know
because I knew that no one would take them. I didn't even try, so I didn't.
Oh,
have
you
to.
knew before?
Yeah, I knew, but I was still unprepared.
Oh wow! Yeah. Okay, that's why you had the dollars.
Yeah, I knew.
Makes so much sense now. That makes so much sense. How has your heritage played a part in you living in Korea, being half Korean, but your other side is not Korean?
It's actually well, it makes it easier because of the visa stuff. You know, all the paperwork and all of that. Because my visa is very beneficial compared to any other visas that foreigners are usually. They usually have access to. So that was very helpful. But other than that, to most Koreans, I don't really look Korean. They assume that I'm Southeast Asian. Yeah.
What country do they usually?
I've heard Philippines. I've heard Vietnam, like Indonesia.
Indonesia.
Yeah, not a lot of people say it out loud, so I haven't really heard that many, opinions on that.
Yeah.
But they don't assume that I'm Korean usually. Yeah, very rarely so. So that didn't help me much. Just the fact that I look Asian, I guess it's better than a white person sometimes.
Yeah.
Very rarely it does help you.
Yeah, that's true. Because you're like foreign, but you're not really foreign because you're still
Yeah.
Asian looking.
Yeah.
Or Asian passing, I guess you
Yeah.
would say. How do people react when they find out you're half Korean and half Tajik?
Some people they're like, oh, okay, okay.
You are? Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah.
And some people become more open, I guess, or like more friendly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think it's because of the Korean side or just you being like mixed?
I think it's maybe the Korean side because maybe for some of them it clicks that I'm kind of familiar with their culture and their ways. Yeah.
I feel like there, like in the past few years, there has been a lot of people who are now of mixed race, especially half Korean, half something else.
Yeah.
And Korea does seem to be more It actually depends what mixture you are. I said that and I was like, it depends what mixture you are. Because certain mixtures, they're not as favored as other mixtures. Yeah, I take that statement back. I take that. As I was speaking, you know who Han Hyunmin is? I think it's Han Hyunmin. No, Hyunmin or something. He's the half black, half Korean model.
Oh, I think I know.
Or
I think I know
another
him.
one that you might know is, do you know Korean singers or not really?
Yeah, I do.
Yoonmire? She's a
Yoonmire.
rap.
Oh, yeah.
She's
She's
also
like a
half black.
legend.
Yes, half
Yeah.
black, half Korean. That's the first thing that popped in my head, and I was like, yeah, they weren't really loved back in the day because
exactly.
obviously they have the black side.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I take that back.
Yeah.
Rewind, guys. Let me take that back. Is there any other difficulty that you faced in Korea
For me,
that you can think of?
it's just like the little things that you need to get used to, like culture shocks and stuff.
you had culture shock?
Yeah, because it's not like culture, but more
Yeah.
like I lived in Russia for most of my life, so
So it could be culture shock then.
yeah, kind of, because a lot of things are different. Just
Yeah.
the little things. First, like the banking system here is so frustrating for me.
Is
The apps the interface is so slow. Like
what bank do you use? 'Cause I use
Kumin,
Uri.
Kumin, and also, but yeah, I've heard that, and then I got a second card at Shinan.
Girl, why you need to come to Uri?
Really?
I love Uri Yoneng.
Damn, I'm about to get a third card.
Third card Uri. I've been in Uri for the past 9, almost 10 years. I've had their card.
Oh.
Yeah. And I've never had a problem. Now, I have a friend who's
Yeah.
multiple problems.
I've heard from Koreans, they were like, "What bank do you use?" I'm like, and they're like, "Well, that's why. That's why." It's
Maybe
all
you should
frustrating."
switch.
Yeah, yeah. But they recommended me Shinan, so
Oh, was it a school recommendation or is it like the Koreans recommending?
Koreans, yeah.
Shinan. I've never really heard anything about them. Yon needs to be on the Uri ride. I should be an ambassador. First of all, I actually did a shoot for them, but I should be an ambassador for Uri and Heng. The commercial was weird as hell though. It was like me and a bunch of old ajmas. I don't know where that commercial is. If I ever find that commercial, I'm going to post it. But I need to be an Uri ambassador. I always tell people to get Uri. I've never had a problem with them. Everybody that I've met in the bank is so kind. Like, they will try to help you as much as you can. Even when you're putting money into your account, like I do a lot of US to Korea. I am telling my business so much right now. My God, girl, that is not about me. Jesus. Okay, but yeah.
helpful information.
It is, but Uri. Guys, get Uri and Heng. If you come, definitely get an Uri card or a Shinan card.
Yeah.
'Cause she just said it was actually pretty decent.
Yeah.
So the bank
Not
is going to be cool something because I'm going to have to blur the end of that word. But
the yellow one.
the yellow one, guys,
No.
not Kakao Talk. This is another one we're talking about. Don't get that one
Yeah.
unless they revamp the whole everything.
Yeah.
So the banking system was a bit hard for you.
Yeah.
What other little things did you find? Did you have a hard time with?
Oh, the subway here.
You had a hard time with the subway?
Yeah, this is something that a lot of foreigners don't know. The subway in Russia it has its own flaws. Like
Yeah.
it's not at all, I would say, accessible to disabled people. But it's beautiful. Like the architecture is beautiful and it's quick, quicker
wow.
than Korean subway.
Is it?
Yeah, like in Korea, there's like
Look
a
at that.
timetable. You know, there like trains, they arrive at a certain time. But in Russia, I think every 2 minutes
There's
there are
a new one
trains.
coming through?
Yeah, there's a new one. So you don't
Yeah.
like you just come. You don't have to wait for like 8 minutes, 10
Yeah.
minutes. Sometimes you just
Yeah.
go. For me, when I came here for the first time, when I started working, especially, it was hard to adjust. I was late a couple of times because of that, because I was like, it's so frustrating. Like you miss your train, then you have to wait 10 minutes.
Sometimes 12 minutes, girl.
Yeah,
Sometimes I've seen 12
so-
minutes. Yeah.
Me too.
I'm
Actually,
just
yeah.
like 12 minutes.
I'm like 12 minutes.
Yeah.
This is not. You're not.
That
serious.
that's so interesting because in your country,
Yeah.
it's a lot faster. Girl, in my country, I'd rather just drive my car. It's
Yeah.
just, I'm from Philadelphia or Pennsylvania, for some who might know where that is. The subway system is so bad. So it's the first time I'm hearing the Korean subway system is slower than another country.
Yeah,
Or
this is-
inconvenient compared to another country.
This is something that is, I guess,
Not known
not
at all.
expected. Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually have a folder on my phone
Yeah.
with pictures from the subway that I took personally, because the subway inside is so interesting and so beautiful. And I'm like, I always tell people, like,
Wow.
if my friends see this, they're gonna be like, here she goes again.
With this subway thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm really impressed with how beautiful it is. But it's pretty old. It's like from the Soviet times. It looks quite historical, you know,
Yeah.
but also impressive. Yeah.
I'm gonna have to Google that. I've never even thought
Yeah.
about the Russian subway or metro system. I've never thought
Me
about
too.
that.
I lived in, like, I've only experienced subway in Russia
Right.
until coming here. So I never realized that it's something that could be so distinctive, you know.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Wow, look at that, Korea. Y'all subways
But-
are too slow.
other than that, I have
Yeah.
to say, like, it's more accessible to disabled people, and like
Which is
there are-
crazy because disabled people don't think that because they're always
That's true.
protesting.
That's
But
true.
compared to other countries, yes.
Yeah, you have to admit, you know, you have
Yes.
to admit that there are things to work on, but there are also things that you're already doing great. you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
There are elevators everywhere. You know, there are bathrooms everywhere. Restrooms everywhere on every station.
Like how you went restrooms. Bathroom works too. But yeah, every station has a bathroom.
yeah.
Every single
Yeah.
station.
That's
Girl, take your time.
for me. Yeah. That was something that, coming from Russia, I was like, oh, this is great.
Yeah.
There's a bathroom everywhere, on every station at least, and they're clean. They're not nasty.
I've never been to a bathroom that was nasty in Korea. In the subway in Korea.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had to stop myself because I have been to nasty bathrooms in Korea, but not the subway ones.
Yeah.
Those usually I think they clean once an hour or like once every hour. Like
It
there's
does seem
a
that way.
cleaning lady in there trying to like
It does
clean
seem
up
that way.
and everything. Now mall bathrooms, those are beautiful in Korea. The bathrooms in there, I don't know how we got to talking about bathrooms. Sorry, y'all. But yeah, the subway system. Are there any other small like little things that you found to be like a culture shock?
Well, the eating thing, I guess, that you have to eat like 2 people at least. Yeah, that was also quite hard to adjust to at first.
When it comes to you being Korean and like your Korean side, did they ever teach you about Korean culture, or did you just learn as you grew up?
I learned as I grew up. There are very little things that I knew, like from my childhood. Like you're supposed to wait for the elders before you eat, and just like general respect for the elders. But like the 2-handed gesture and all of that,
Yeah.
that was not something that that's not something that we still maintain. Yeah.
You had to learn that then when you came
Yeah.
here and stuff like that.
I was, I decided to learn Korean as a language back when I was a teenager, when I was like 16. So I learned English by immersing myself into like Western pop culture. I was a fan of One Direction, like crazy. I was
not
obsessed.
the One Direction fan.
I was obsessed.
Yeah.
And that's how I learned. I was also a fan of like some other singers as well. And that helped me learn a lot. So I decided that for Korean, I have to do the same. So I got into K-pop with the mindset that I'm gonna get into the music and then it will just happen naturally.
Oh,
Didn't work. didn't work.
It does not work.
Yeah. I feel like maybe if I were still like a teenager, just like when I was learning English, I was like 13, 14, it would maybe work better.
Yeah, because your mind is a sponge. It just takes everything in.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But I was like on the brink of adulthood at like 16, 17.
Yeah.
And it was not the same anymore.
Not 16, 17 mean the brink of adulthood.
But like kind of.
Girl, you are a baby. You're barely an adult.
My brain was not working the same anymore.
That's true. You were less of a baby.
Yeah.
Brink of adulthood is so funny, Yulia. That is a 16-year-old. No, it's okay. I always make fun of people who are younger than me just because I'm like, you're still a child.
It's acceptable though, not because now I'm doing that to teenagers.
True,
too.
right? Exactly. When you get older, you can make fun of the younger folks. Okay? Yeah. Brink of adulthood at 16. But yeah, it is harder, definitely, to soak in the language. I would say. Yeah. How has that been then, learning Korean?
It's been hard. Hard. But through absorbing all of that, I watched a lot of like variety shows, like Korean stuff, and just like a lot of YouTube content, and that helped me to see how they interact with each other and all the cultural little details.
Yeah.
So that prepared me well.
If somebody was to ask you what's the best way to learn Korean/Korean culture, if it's Korean variety shows, Korean drama, K-pop, or Korean music, which one would you say out of those three has helped you the most?
To me, it was variety shows, I think. Yeah. Or like in general, right now a lot of idols post a lot of like contents on YouTube, and they're kind of their own variety shows, sort of. Very entertaining, and you also get to hear some slang, some words that they use in their everyday lives, some natural expressions, like much better than the textbook stuff sometimes.
Yeah,
so
the textbook stuff is not the best, in my opinion. Yeah. Variety shows for sure.
Yeah.
What's your favorite, minus the K-pop idol stuff, or even the K-pop idol?
Yeah.
Which one is your favorite right now?
For me, I think aespa. Right now,
that's JYP?
SM.
Damn, I was close. Is it? There's somebody named Karina.
Yes. Yes.
She knows.
Yeah.
I might be older than her, but I know.
You still got it.
Yes, girl. Still got it. So do you watch like their vlog? Is it vlogs that they do, or?
They do like their own content. Yeah, but I don't watch their stuff. I have to say, for me, I'm interested in them more like musically.
Yeah. Okay. I meant varietily. That's not a word. Who are you interested in? Give us some recommendations of variety shows that you're watching.
I have this one that I would recommend to everyone. It's 17's Going 17.
Going 17. It's called Going 17.
Going 17. Yeah, I don't even, I'm not even that interested in the group musically, but their contents on YouTube, they're like so funny.
They're entertaining.
Yeah, so entertaining. And I did learn some words from there, and it can be helpful. And it's fun. It's a good way to start off with the language. If you know the basics, especially, something fun and enjoyable can make you, like the language, like the learning process more.
Facts.
Yeah.
Yes, I completely agree. That's why I personally had a really hard time learning Korean through books.
Yeah.
Because, no offense, books are not fun. Like, it's just not fun. I learned best also Korean drama and also variety shows like Running Man.
Oh,
that helps. Back in the day, Running Man. Not what they have right now. It's not the same. But back in the day, Running Man was so entertaining.
Yeah.
But I completely agree with, you get to see like everyday Korean culture that you can't see in a book.
Yeah. And even dramas, sometimes they don't really touch upon the real life stuff. There's sometimes it's all really glazed over, very romanticized. So,
Yes. Well, you're not going to really learn anything.
Yeah.
And if you're watching a Korean historic drama, good luck with that. Yeah. Because I don't know what you can learn from that drama.
Exactly. You're just going to learn some old slang maybe. Yeah. I don't know.
저, 폐야.
Yeah.
망각합니다. That's all you're learning, and nobody's using that right now.
It's good for like making jokes though.
Yes.
If you want to be funny, you can learn that.
That's when you can use it. For me, I also learned cussing through Korean movies, not dramas, movies.
Yeah,
Because they
exactly.
have an abundance of cussing
Yeah.
in Korean movies.
Yeah.
That's how I learned.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, not good. It's not good that I learned it. But I learned something. For sure.
You immersed yourself.
Yes, a little too much at that point. A little too much immersion. Does your Korean side speak Korean or not really?
Not really.
Mm.
The relatives that are here right now, some of them speak
Yeah.
it, but you know, for a lot of them, actually, they come here and they live surrounded by the diaspora. So a lot of them don't even feel the need to learn Korean. You know, they just
Oh,
learn.
so they stay in the their community.
Yeah, yeah. So they like
Wow.
know some of the basics, but they don't really speak it like that.
Yeah.
So
Oh, interesting. Why is that? Why do they don't want to? Do they not really care to venture out, or?
I think it's more comfortable for them.
That's true.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I don't really agree with that. Most of the time, I'm like, you have to go out there. You have to like go through the hard parts to get more immersed. You
Yeah.
know, to learn more.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, for other foreigners, I can understand why they would be isolated, you know, in their own community, interacting only with the foreigners. But for us, you know, especially for others, like my other relatives, they're all like fully Korean. And you're Korean. This is your culture.
How does your family then feel about you, like leaving the community to interact with Koreans?
I feel like they mostly don't have an opinion on it. And with some of my relatives that live here, I don't really have a good relationship with them. So some of them might judge me. I could expect that.
Yeah.
From last year, I remember one of my cousins, she was like, why, like, I was like, if I come to Korea again, I'm gonna try to find a normal job, you know, a job that is not as physically taxing as working at the factories. But she was like, no, you need to come, you know, it's better if you work at the factory and you can earn good money. And I was like, at that time, I was not sure if I'm gonna come back at all.
Yeah.
You know, long term. So I was like, I might go back to Russia and just stay there. I don't know yet. Yeah. She was like, it's better if you just stay here now and like, you know, try working, try earning money. It's good money. You can save up. You can do this and that and that. And I feel like those types of relatives with that kind of mindset, they might be slightly judgmental. That's
You're
okay,
doing
though.
something different.
Yeah. That's okay though. I accepted it.
That it's good to leave the bubble.
Yeah.
I think it's really good to leave the bubble.
It is.
How do you feel about your work life in Korea right now? Like what you're doing?
Not good.
You want to change it still?
I do want to change it, but it's kind of hard. It's something that I've been struggling personally with for a while because I don't really have a degree. So I have to go for simpler jobs, and with the language barrier still in place, my options are limited. Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
But don't limit yourself either. I think
Yeah.
you like I don't know, like it's hard for me to say I can give you advice on that because I'm not in your place.
Yeah.
But I feel like you definitely shouldn't limit yourself.
I
I just realized I don't got my earrings on. I was like, why is my ear so naked today? Girl, I'm not even going to put them on. It's too late, y'all. It's too late.
You look good.
Wow.
You look
Thank
good
you.
still.
Girl, stop. Thank you. Way to take a serious moment and just mess it up. Sorry. But yeah, I don't think you should limit yourself. I feel like your cousin limited herself or himself. That's why he doesn't or she doesn't want to. It's like they're playing bowling today. What's going on with the upstairs? I think that's why they want you to stay in that bubble. But when it comes to what you're doing right now, you don't have to say what you're doing. What makes it not good?
It's very low pay. It's almost like the minimal wage, the minimal hourly wage.
What's that? 7,000?
I think it's almost 10,000 right now. Almost manon.
Yeah.
Almost. So my pay is not good. That's the most motivating factor for me to change my job. And yeah, just I feel kind of underappreciated at my job right now. I have to say. I hope my coworkers are all English speaking. I hope my manager doesn't see this.
Oh,
Or maybe it's better if he sees that.
Maybe he needs to appreciate you a little bit more. Yeah. Maybe some appreciation will go a far way.
Yeah.
Mr. Manager. But you never know. There's always like maybe another chance you can get a better job later on.
I hope
You've
so.
only been here for less than a year.
Yeah, I hope
You have a lot
so.
of time.
Yeah.
And you're only 24.
And you know, before coming here, I knew that there are a lot of teachers here in Korea. A lot of foreigners do this, like English teaching. And I at first was like, no, I'm never doing this. I'm never going for the taboo
Not the most common job.
Yeah, not the taboo, but the cliche
Yeah.
job. But now I'm kind of like, should I? Maybe I should try it. I don't know.
If your visa allows it, actually, you should try it. Like hagwons, I mean, there are good and bad hagwons, but from what I've heard, private tutoring as an English teacher pays very well.
Yeah.
Like that's most likely you can get more than, I would say more than 30,000 an hour. You'll be able to get that.
That would be awesome, actually.
Yeah.
But I have a lot of worries about teaching because, like, for me, it was always like you need to have experience. You need to know how to do this, but I don't really have that experience.
See, this is gonna sound very offensive, but I feel like in Korea you don't have to have experience unless
It does seem like that.
then. But if you're teaching in a school, yes, you do need to have experience. Like schools don't play; they need you to have a degree and everything. But when it comes to private tutoring, you don't have to have a degree because whoever you're tutoring just knows you know English. So
Okay.
they're not going to be like, what degree do you have? It's a private tutoring job. So I think if you can try to find private tutoring or a hagwon that doesn't look at your educational background, then you should find a better job in that sector. I'm also saying this from experience of friends who have done it before. I think the pay would be a lot better than what you're doing right now. And less work than what you're doing right now.
That's very motivating.
You just have to like make lesson plans, which
Yeah.
if you're good at that, you can do really well at it.
I hope I can do it.
You just gotta find them, girl. You gotta find the jobs. What about the good memories that you've had in Korea?
I guess when I ventured out, especially this year during language school, I didn't really. I worked in the second half of the semester, so I still had some time to like hang out with new friends, to experience, to see new parts of Seoul, and yeah, that was great. And especially with my friend here, we hung out almost like every day after classes, and we had like plans, and we were like, we need to do this, we need to do that, and yeah, that was great. Yeah. Also, in September recently, I went to Busan finally for the first time. Yeah, that was a happy memory.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was not alone actually, so that's also very nice.
Yeah. Busan is very nice.
Yeah, I loved it. I really want to. I was there and I was thinking like, oh, I wish I could experience living here.
Yeah.
It was so great.
The problem is the jobs.
Yeah.
Busan doesn't really have a lot of jobs for foreigners, which sucks.
It sucks.
But maybe if you start teaching English, maybe you can find a job in Busan because there aren't a lot of there aren't as many English teachers there.
Yeah,
so maybe that can be a way for you to go to Busan.
Yeah.
Are there any other good memories that you've had?
I've been attending this English speaking club. It's mostly for Koreans to learn English. But foreigners can also join, and like if you speak English fluently, it's good for them because Koreans that are participating get to interact with native speakers.
Yeah, they can practice with you guys.
Yeah, and for me, I did it because I wanted to like find new friends again, to socialize, and especially Korean friends. You know, it's hard to approach them otherwise. It's hard to just come up with someone and be like, hey, let's be friends.
Yeah, facts.
Not only in Korea, I guess it's everywhere in the world.
Yeah, it would be kind of creepy if somebody was like, hey, let's be friends. You're like, yeah.
It's modern society. It doesn't really.
In Korea, it's worse though. I do have to say, in Korea, it's a lot worse. You cannot do that here.
Agreed.
Yeah.
So yeah, I joined to find new friends, and it's been quite a good experience so far. I found some friends. I found like a group of friends that I have that I can hang out with, and we actually went to see a ginkgo tree.
What's that?
은행나무.
Where's that?
There are a lot of around Seoul.
Yeah.
We went to see like a huge one. It's like 800 years old. Yeah.
Oh wow, I didn't even know that was a thing.
Yeah, it was. It's actually crazy because like one of the girls in the group, she goes there every year. It's like a tradition for her when like the foliage starts to,
To see the foliage.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and she looks at CCTVs online to see when it's like starting to go yellow, and that's what she goes.
She looks at CCTVs.
Yeah, it's crazy, and she's not the only one who does it.
Of course.
Yeah,
It's like they're checking on their baby.
Yeah, there are like a whole bunch of people who do this.
Is the camera specifically on the tree, or is it just like random camera?
It's like a road camera, and on the side you can kind of see the tree.
Insane.
Yeah, it's something that just Korean people kind of
They must love this tree for sure. That's a lot of love for a tree.
Yeah.
Wow.
And yeah, that was a good memory as well.
Yeah.
We went in a group, like 2 cars. We spent some time there, and we came back the same day. It was kind of like a road trip.
Yeah, it does sound like a
yeah.
road trip. Yeah.
Yeah, good experience.
Wow. How do you feel about the friend group now? Do you feel like they're a circle that you can stay with now?
Yeah, I do feel that way. We're actually we have a hangout planned tomorrow, which is really exciting. We're not like really, really close, but at least I have them,
Yeah.
At least there's someone. With one of them specifically, I got really close. We like talked a lot about personal stuff, and we shared a lot of our, stories from the past. And yeah, I feel like there's someone that I can rely on and someone that I can ask for help. And she even told her mom about me, and her mom gave me kimchi. So nice. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, that's another good memory. Yeah.
Yeah.
I have kimchi in my
so
fridge for
nice.
someone. Yeah.
I love when a Korean mother gives me kimchi.
Yeah.
Makes me feel very
This
warm.
is my first time experiencing this. And
That is really sweet.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you see yourself living in Korea for a long time?
Honestly, I'm still not sure. I feel like for a lot of people it's like that. For a lot of foreigners who come here, you don't know. But for now, I think I want to stay here. Yeah, especially now that I kind of have a circle of people that I can, hang out with.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I would like to stay here longer.
For like the whole trying to make friends in Korea, I'll give you some advice. Well, I can't give you advice on Korean friends because I don't know how to navigate that. But when it comes to like Facebook groups, have you tried checking Facebook groups?
Oh, I've heard about them, but I'm so unfamiliar with Facebook.
Yeah, your time. I forgot.
I've never really
Not your
used
time.
it. I've always like made an account and I'm like, no fun.
God. Okay, so for me, Facebook, I still use one because nosiness. So my high school classmates are.
Oh.
Love a good nosy moment. 2 of the groups there are really good. Like there's a group called Expat Women in Korea. You do have to live in Korea to join this group, but it's only women, so it's a lot safer, I would say. You can join there, and then you can try and meet people in your area. So you can upload and be like, hey, does anybody live in this area? Do you want to have a coffee together? And you can meet up. You can put your age there too. In case you don't want to meet someone who's like 70 years old and you're like, we have nothing in common. There's also a Kakao Talk group. I can't really write for them as much because I haven't met anybody from this group, but it's Korea. All women again. And you just join, and it's like hundreds of girls who live in Korea. And they will be like, hey, I'm going to Hongdae. Does anybody want to join? And then people would just go to Hongdae together. And it's like a way to, network with people too, and like just find your group that way. As I said, I haven't met anybody from this group because I'm quite antisocial. But that's like another way to make friends. I think Facebook groups are great. There might be some Korean... Have you tried like Korean language exchange apps?
I have, but I didn't have a good experience there. Like, and I didn't have weird experiences actually. Like, maybe a couple, but not very bad. But I also couldn't find a language exchange partner. Or like I found one, and then like after one day of talking, it would just die out,
Okay.
Maybe I just didn't use the right apps.
I wouldn't recommend apps. I feel like the thing about language exchange apps, the foreigner is always the one who's giving. Like you're always the one teaching the English. But the person on the other end is not really teaching you Korean. So it's not really language exchange if only one person is getting the exchange part.
Yeah.
Or it tends to just become a dating app at some point where people are just
That's
looking
how
for...
I felt. Yeah.
They're looking for a foreign girlfriend.
Yeah.
Or, well, for us, because we're girls, a foreign girlfriend. So I don't really recommend language exchange apps. I wish there was an actual language exchange app that was a language exchange app. But I feel like they're all dating apps to some point.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is not the best. Yeah. But anyways, what would you recommend for new people coming to Korea?
Especially for traveling?
In general, because you came in 2024, so you're still new. So you can, I feel like you know what could have gone better in your stay here. Like, what's something you would have recommended?
If you plan on living here long term, I feel like a lot of people already know this, but just in case, have a lot of money prepared for those deposits and stuff. For renting, it's something that you need to be prepared for. Otherwise, it's going to be really, really, really hard.
Yeah, them deposits, girl.
Yeah.
Oh, child.
Yeah.
Yeah, the higher your deposit, the better the house. So if you have more money, then you have a nicer house.
Yeah. The
or
sad truth.
Very expensive rent if you don't have a high deposit. So that's a good one.
Yeah.
Money.
What else? I would recommend just exploring areas that are not as mainstream. Like a lot of people know that Seongsu is popular, or like
The
Myeongdong, Hongdae, yeah. But for me, actually, this area,
Mulle.
yeah, I love it.
I am definitely blurring that word out. You're not finna find me.
Yeah.
You're not gonna find me. Starts with an M. That is true. This area is becoming like the new hip area.
Yeah.
Almost. There's a lot of... I'm not gonna blur this, but don't come and find me. It's Mulle, okay? Mulle is definitely like the new hot place to be. Yeah.
I knew about it from last year. I saw it somewhere on like a travelers forum or something. And I was like, wow, I need to go check it out. And I came here and I saw like there are some cool people walking around here, but it's not like overcrowded like Seongsu or like Myeongdong, you know.
Yeah.
And there are still some nice places, but for me, my favorite part is all the like workshops, the metal workshops, like
the ones that you just passed by.
Yeah, and the graffiti among them, and then there are like coffee shops sprinkled around, just all that,
and then matjibs, like there's like a really good restaurants, like
really good restaurants,
and everything is low in Mulle. Like you don't have skyscrapers.
That's true.
Right? So everything is very low. So it makes it less intimidating, I guess you could say. Compared to like Hongdae, Itaewon.
Yeah, you're right. I've never realized this.
Everything is low here.
Yeah.
I don't think, unless you walk past Home Plus, like where Home Plus is, then you start seeing skyscrapers and bigger apartments. But this area has very short buildings. Everything is quite small, which makes it a lot less intimidating. But anything else you wanted to say before we close out the episode?
Well, for newcomers, just like come here, enjoy. Don't have too many expectations because eventually you will get disappointed in some things, you know. So just try to go in fresh, you know. Try to be nice to people here, to respect their culture, but also don't let them push you around as well.
Facts.
Yeah.
Definitely don't let anybody push you around, guys. Is that all you would like to say, Yulia?
Yeah, I think so.
You good?
Yeah.
You sure?
Yeah.
Okay, bet. Thank you, Yulia, for coming onto the episode.
You
did great. For somebody who was like really nervous, you did great, actually. Hopefully you feel better.
I do.
About it.
I do,
now you can be in front of a camera, girl.
Yeah.
You out here. Are you okay with us closing the episode here?
I think yes.
Okay, great. Yeah. Sorry, I'm still fighting this microphone. Anyways, guys, that was another episode of Korea Unfiltered. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with your friends. I love when a guest does that. They're like, 좋아요. Like, subscribe, and share with your friends. Also, don't forget to click the bell next to the subscribe button so you get notifications for... notifications for when I post. If you are a podcast listener, make sure you give us 5 stars so we can get up in the algorithm. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you so much, Yulia, for coming.
Thank you.
And maybe I'll see you next time, girl. Maybe.
Hopefully.
Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next episode. Bye guys.